And we will begin. So officially welcome to today's webinar live on May 17th, 2022 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Cora Anthony, the Training and Development Specialist here at the Native Learning Center. So welcome everybody. And today we're going to talk about Credit Building 101. And so just a quick disclaimer, this webinar provides a summary of fundamental concepts, requirements, and/or procedures within the allotted 90 minutes. The material discussed does not illustrate all possible scenarios that could be applicable. So before we begin today's session, we do want to familiarize you with the Adobe Connect platform. Your screen should look very similar to this. So at the very top, you should see a raise hand function. There you can raise your hand to let us know that there's questions in the chat box, agree, disagree, or let us know that you're stepping away. And your screen should look like this one. On the bottom left corner, you're going to see today's PowerPoint presentation available for download. If you hover over it and you'll see an arrow pointing downwards, you click on that, the presentation will download in PDF format to your computer. Next to it, we have today's survey, which I will launch at the end of the webinar presentation. So please take a minute or so to let us know how we did today. And the Adobe Connect app download, which is also in the chat box. So if you find yourself experiencing some audio issues, it's probably because you're on the web browser. So if you download it and rejoin through the app, the sound is 1,000 times better. And last but definitely not least, to the right of that is our chat box, which you guys have already started using. So if you have any questions, commentary, please drop it into the chat box. We'll make sure to address all of them throughout the presentation. And so with that being said, I'm going to pass it off to, to our lovely subject matter experts today, Ms. Linnell Smith and Stephanie Cott, to start off.
Ani, Stephanie Cote, Indishnikas, Grand Traverse Band Odam, and Wachipwa and Madagos. Hello, my name is Stephanie Cote. I am a Senior Program Officer at EWONAP Corporation, and I'm Anishinaabe from the Grand Traverse region in Michigan. So thank you so much for joining us. And Linnell.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. I was trying to unmute. I'm not virtualing very much anymore. So if that's even a word. But my name's Linnell Smith, and I'm a senior program officer with EWONAP Corporation, been with the organization for about 7 years and been doing financial capabilities work for about 26 years. So it's good to see so many folks that have taken a few of our classes before. So it's good to see you all in the chat. And as we're going to get started here, we just want to have some group guidelines. We're going to be talking a lot about credit and getting some feedback from you. So we just want this to be a positive learning experience and to maintain confidentiality, ask for clarification or help when you have a question or do not understand a term that maybe we have mentioned, and then just staying on topic. We definitely want to have a Q&A session going on here too as well. And then can we go to the next slide? So to kind of kick us off in this Credit 101, I want you to put into the chat what words come to mind when you think about credit. And it can be a word, a series of words, maybe it's a phrase, but if you can drop that in the chat, because all of our perceptions of credit can be both positive and negative. And we really want to hear and what you think and what your experience has been with credit thus far. Okay, so we have some coming in here. Invisible opportunity. Yep, credit score, paying bills. Definitely cars, houses, debt collections. All right. Yeah, so we do have some people when we're in the credit space, if our work has been in in the credit world and it was been in a negative space. Sometimes we may have stress, we may have confusion. Maybe I remember thinking one time like, oh, it's the Titanic. That's what I pictured when I thought about credit because it felt overwhelming at times. So you definitely, there's a lot of positive words coming through. So definitely, and we're going to talk a little bit more. We'll definitely go into a lot of detail, and we ask that you hang tight with us because it is a lot of content for a 90-minute segment. So let's go into the next one. So when we think about our own personal credit journey, it's going to differ from everyone else. So we have, because of the differences of experience, the education, maybe even our access to credit products. Many of you I know are in rural tribal communities just from you sharing your location. So sometimes we're in a credit desert or a financial desert. We don't have that access to financial institutions. And so when we think about credit, sometimes it can be a hard topic to discuss, and we just want to acknowledge that. So in this course, we'll talk a lot about credit reports and credit scores. And while the scores are certainly important, we are more than just that credit score. So regardless of where you're starting from with the tools and information that we're going to go through today, we hope you leave with a better understanding of credit and feeling more equipped to build your credit and accomplish your goals. So why credit building? So we're going to focus on using credit to our advantage. So we talk about credit building. So good credit equals access to high quality financial products. So for most of us, that requires access to credit to whether economic shocks or even like the most recent pandemic. Maybe we had job loss or our vehicle breaks down. Sometimes life just happens. So we just want to smooth out income and expense fluctuations throughout the month. When we do not have access to credit, many people depend on predatory lenders and can fall into a cycle of over-indebtedness by utilizing those services. So having good credit helps us find more affordable financial products. A good credit score can help you pay less overall. With good credit, it can help a person save as much as $200,000 over the course of their lifetime. So it's really important to maintain our credit in order to have this savings. And that savings comes from reduced interest rates and fees, as well as reduced or eliminated costly deposits, otherwise required to turn on things as like your utilities or to access your cell phone contract. So with a positive credit rating, this may also reduce the cost of products such as car and homeowners insurance, which for many of us, that's a requirement. And so good credit equates to opportunity and options for housing. So at times, landlords can require credit reports to be pulled to determine whether to rent to an applicant, or it may impact the amount of the security deposit they're going to charge. So good credit is a precursor to asset building. So a good credit history can make the difference in accessing the affordable lending products necessary to go to college, to buy a home, to start and grow a small business. So good credit is really going to impact our even our options for employment. So we want to build credit to allow us to save, improve our financial stability, and ultimately can lead to increased financial security. And then some people have income, savings, and assets, or at least family or social safety nets to fall back on to weather financial challenges, but many people don't. So most of us at some point in our lives will require access to small dollar credit, such as a credit card, to help us with the economic shocks that we mentioned, like job loss, or maybe we had a reduction in our working hours, or just an emergency. Like I said, life can happen. And according to the Federal Reserve, almost 40% of American adults wouldn't be able to cover a $400 emergency with cash, savings, or a credit card charge that they could quickly pay off. So those without access to reasonably priced and even free credit may have to turn to payday loans or other high-cost loans to get by and weather that financial situation. If you had access to a no-fee credit card, however, you could use the card to manage cash flow throughout the month and pay the balance in full when due. Used this way, the credit card essentially becomes a 30-day interest-free loan. However, not everyone is able to pay their monthly balance in full. Even still, the cost of owning and using our credit cards means that we do have a tool to manage certain expenses or to use as a lifeline if needed. Use of a credit card can also come at a lower cost than other lending products, such as the high dollar predatory products that are available. In addition to helping us manage cash flow and emergencies, credit information also plays a greater role in determination of some of our expenses that we often do not think about when we think about credit. So car insurance premiums are one example. On average, people with no credit pay 65% more for car insurance than people with excellent credit. And that's a huge difference. Utilities and cell phone costs are also impacted by credit. Individuals who do not have a credit score, or they may have a low credit score, they will be required to pay a security deposit for these services. Okay, let's go on to the next one, credit and your goals. So now we're going to talk about how credit impacts your goals. Okay, so I just want you to go ahead and put into the chat, how has credit impacted your life? So I did see like some people talk about automobiles, mortgages. So share in the chat how credit has impacted your life. More opportunities. We have some high interest rates. What else is popping in there?